Well, are y'all ready for some good news? I hope so. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Welcome to the channel. We always give you good news in this segment, and we're going to bring you the best news that we always bring you. You are divine, you are sovereign, you are free. You don't have the spark of, you don't have original sin. You got the spark of divinity within, and you don't have to go on bended knee to anybody's savior. You don't have to take a knee to Jesus, because you are divine, sovereign, and free. And today we're going to talk about some good news. I bring you good news every day, and I bring you yesterday's good news to help you feel encouraged about today and excited for tomorrow. And this is good news for a change, because it's different to hear good news. You mainly only hear bad news. And it's also good news for a change, because as you continue to focus on good news, your life will change for the better. And as most of us collectively focus on good news, the world will get collectively better for us. And before we know it, things will be better than they've ever been, sooner than we ever thought possible. So how do we get this good news? Well, all we have to do is go over to jeffreydaugherty.com. And once we're at jeffreydaugherty.com, you can't see it because of the fluffy logo. This is brought to you by Fluffy, High Consciousness on Demand. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com and click on the fluffy logo. Get that high tone scale. Get that high consciousness on demand in your own home. But if you could see it, it's right over here at the end. It says blog. Just click on blog. And then we are off and running. We've got it for every day. And today being the 11th, I haven't done yet. So let's go look at June 10. Good news from yesterday to encourage you today. The NASDAQ hits 10,000 for the first time ever, closes at a record high as Apple and Amazon soar. So it's good news for our economy when the NASDAQ, when the stock market is high. It's really good news for our economy. It's an indicator of all things in our economy. And when the market's doing good, that means you're doing good. If you're in the market, you're doing really good. If you're not in the market, you're still doing good, because the market is what drives our economy, and the market is what is a great indicator of our economy. And for the first time ever, it went over 10,000. That means that through all of history and all this good stuff, we never hit 10,000. Here we are, coming back for some bad stuff on our way up to some more good stuff, and we've already broken the all-time NASDAQ composite. That is great news, and the reason why is because investors are betting on their strength amid the economic recovery, the economic reopening. It rose as much as 7% to a high, all-time high of 10,002.5. That is amazing stuff. It's a key level for the index. And this year, it's led all the major U.S. indices, which is a group of indexes, in recovering from the DOSM West. So it just means it's good news. It means all the losses of the stock market have been erased, and we're back on even ground and heading to higher territory. That's great news. That's great news. And you can always get it right here at jeffreydaugherty.com on the Good News for a Change blog. Second bit of good news. George P. Bush, Jeb Bush's son, will vote for Donald Trump in November. Texas Land Commissioner George Bush, the son of former Republican Governor Jeb Bush, remember low energy Jeb, he's going to vote for President Trump in November and plans to formally endorse the president's reelection. Bush is the nephew of George W. Bush, W. In the Dallas Morning News, he told them that he's going to vote for Trump as he did in 2016, saying the economy is good and he likes the way Trump responded to the DOSM Whiz. So when even the next generation of the cabal, maybe this shows something. Maybe this shows how powerful the Trump revolution really is. That even the next generation of the cabal is saying, you know what? This guy is doing a better job than we are, and he's going to vote for President Trump. That is good news. Now, this next one is especially good news if you're from the South, and if you love freedom, this is really good news. In spite of what crazy Nancy Pelosi wants to do, President Trump says that his administration will not even consider renaming military bases named for Confederates. In a series of tweets on Wednesday, President Trump called the bases named after Confederate soldiers hallowed grounds that helped train soldiers to win 2 world wars. He said his administration will never even consider the renaming of these magnificent and fabled military installations. These monumental and very powerful bases have become part of a great American heritage, a history of winning, victory, and freedom. Therefore, my administration will not even consider renaming these magnificent and fabled military installations. Our history as the greatest nation in the world will not be tampered with. Respect our military. I salute the president for his stance. It's a beautiful stance. It's a historical stance. And you don't have to believe or share someone's history or even the history of your country to let it be alone. Trying to tear down statues, that's what ISIS does. That's what extremists do, and we are not about that. This is something I didn't know. This is very interesting. J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter's books, she doubles down on the truth about transgenderism. It hurts women. Now, again, we are not against transgendered people. We're not trying to take away their rights. We're not trying to make them second-class citizens. If you're LBGT or even Q, don't forget the Q. We don't think you should have any less rights than anybody else. And we also don't think that you should have any more. And we don't think that we should have to normalize what you do not to be discriminating you. Because let's face it, if you dress up in a stuffed animal suit and have sex with other people, that's weird. That's weird. That's not normal. But in America, we support your right to be a plushie. Doesn't mean that we are going to say, oh, yeah, that's normal. We support you to be any of those letters and still have your civil rights. But don't ask us to say, yeah, you're the norm. You're just normal, because you're not. And when was the last time y'all wanted to be normal? Okay. But anyway, J.K. Rowling says that she has held the line on refuting transgender rhetoric. And for gender critical women and real feminists, this is a glorious moment, says this writer. We, the gender critical, the TERFs, those women who have spoken up over and over, are finally witnessing the manifestation of an ally who's simply too big to cancel. Rowling has tweeted, which is about as public as you can get these days, that men cannot become women and women cannot become men because biological reality is real. Her statement contains no ambiguity. Rowling wrote, if sex isn't real, and that means you're a sex, I'm a sex, male is a sex, female is a sex, this word gender, it only means language, and we've allowed them to pirate and hijack our very language. Gender never had anything to do with people. Gender has to do with language. There's not two genders, there's two sexes. And all the gerrymandering of the gender benders can't change that. So I salute Ms. Rowling. If sex isn't real, if males aren't real, if females aren't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. Men are men. If you're born a man, I don't care if you got a big 44 double D rack and you cut off what's down below and they fashion it into a vajayjay, you're still a man. And the opposite, same thing. You're still a woman. I'm sorry. I am sorry. What's her name out there? Alexa. You ask Alexa about Bruce Jenner, and she always comes back to Caitlyn. I'm sorry. That's still Bruce Jenner. He can call, she's out there talking right now. He can call himself whatever he wants. He's still Bruce Jenner. If you're born a man, you're a man. If you're born a woman, you're a woman. And salute to J.K. Rowling for saying so. And that's good news because not everybody's crazy. It's good to know that not everybody's crazy. To me, That's good news. Here's another good news tweet from our president. Radical left governor Jay Inslee and the mayor of Seattle are being taunted and played at a level that our great country has never seen before. Take back your city now, capital letters. If you don't, I will. This is not a game. These ugly anarchists must be stopped immediately. Move fast. And he put stooped, but you know what? They do need to be stopped and they do need to be stooped. They need to be beaten down. The mayor of Seattle are being taunted and played at a level our great country has never seen. It looks like I doubled that up. Sorry. That's good news because we got a president that says, I'm sorry, but a declared terrorist organization is not going to take over a section of an American city without a swift and full response. And speaking of a president that cares about our country, the Baltic nations brace, and look how this is phrased. The Baltic nations brace for U.S. troop withdrawal as Russia waits and watches. This is an insult to the Baltic people. And I've been to the Baltic nations, and they're a proud people. This implies that the Baltic nations are biting their nails, and they're so worried about what happens when America leaves, because if America leaves, they can't do anything on themselves by themselves. They're just poor little stupid Baltic people. Get that corn out of my face. As President Trump weighs a decision to withdraw nearly 1/3 of the American troops from Germany, as he should, Germany don't need our damn troops. And Germany ain't paying its fair share. They don't need our troops. I've been a German troop. They don't need us. They didn't need us then. They don't need us now. The Baltic states closest to Russian aggression. When's the last time the Russians were aggressive? Quietly hope American troops do not leave the European theater. You don't know that. I've talked to more Baltic people than you have. Look at this. We got a president that is not waging war anymore. He's waging peace. We got a president that is not sending our troops into harm's way and putting our nose in everybody else's business. He's bringing troops home. That's good news. I salute you, Mr. President, for bringing folks home, just like he said he would on the campaign trail. We can't figure it out. He said it on the campaign, and he's really doing it. Shit's never happened before. And our last bit of good news today. U.S. businesses are in the business of doing business, and they're going full steam ahead with hiring. The U.S. labor market made a stunning comeback in May, beating expectations by not 8, not 9, but 10 million jobs, real jobs, not funding for jobs, lying bitches, real jobs. My son now works for the big communication giant, got him a good job, full-time plus, got him a van to ride around in. Ooh, yeah, I'm riding in his van. And he gets benefits, 401k, and free cable. So these are real jizzobs, ladies and gentlemen. As states reopen, business owners are turning more optimistic about the future, signaling that the Dosum West induced recession will be short-lived. We added 2.5 million jizzobs last month, and as states begin to ease the lockdown restrictions, we're looking for more and more jizzobs coming in June. They said we're going to lose 8, and we added 2.5 million. That's a $10 million swing. And $1 million here, $1 million there, all of a sudden it's real money, especially when it's in your pocket, and you can spend it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is some good news for a change. And speaking of good news, at 6 o'clock tonight, Central Time, we've got more podcast excellence. And what have we got? Well, you know what? Let's use the magic of technology and let's go and see what we got coming up at 6 o'clock. I think I can do this. If we go to the Jeffrey Daugherty YouTube channel, look at this sorcery that we're doing. We're podcasting from the channel, but yet we're looking at the channel. It's amazing. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. So we're live right now with the good news for a change. Oh, but wait about this. What's coming up at 6 o'clock p.m.? Jesus says, take a knee. Where are my Christian truthers at? It's real now. Ooh. And if that ain't enough, up comes at 9 p.m. Gladiators, sacrifices for the modern games, and is the NFL modern day slavery? The most insightful commentary you'll hear this side of young Pharaoh. 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock on the Central Time. Be there because it's going to be some really, really good stuff. I appreciate the surge we have in subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you do. And if you are subscribed, I hope you make sure that you still are, because you have a funny way of being dropped from the rolls. Hit the like button or the do not like button, as whichever one applies to you. Help drive me through these silly algorithms and get these videos seen by more people, because we all know we need more good news for a change. Yesterday's good news today to give you hope for tomorrow. That's what this little segment is all about. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. Keep asking questions. Keep questioning answers, because that's how you unindoctrinate yourself. See you at 6 p.m. Central, and in between, you can catch me on Twitter at unindoctrinate, and ladies and gentlemen, on the brand spanking new, I can't remember the name, so I'm waiting for the Parler.com, the free speech social network. Until then, Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, saluting you for being here, seeking after truth.